Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast that has no name. I'm your host, Aaliyah.
And I'm your host, Ceciella. And first thing we want to start off was how you feeling today? It's almost been a week since we've been back, I think.
I'm fine. I sprained my ankle on Saturday night.
What was you doing on Saturday night?
I was walking to a metro. I was walking. Oh. I was on my way to go home from my aunt's house. And as I was walking, I was following footsteps in the snow. And I slipped and broke up my foot. It was folded underneath me. I was lying there like a drag queen. I looked like I just done did the death drop.
You said cacao on the sidewalk.
No, for real. Like, I was just lying there with my foot like folded underneath me, holding a bag of like frozen ribs and burgers on my way home. And I dead ass had to crawl across the street. It was very dangerous, actually. I don't know, like, I could not stand, so I had to like crawl across the street, and only when I was close enough to the building of the physical metro, I had to like pry myself off the ground with my broke up foot and go down 3 flights of stairs because the metro station only had an escalator going up.
Well, we're glad you're here with us now and that you're feeling okay. And and this episode we're here to talk about probably the most controversial award show so far. It's not even 3 weeks in 2026 and we're already on this nonsense. So if you remember our last episode, which was the All About Mean Girls episode, I kind of mentioned that as of recording, the Critics' Choice had just happened as of recording that episode. And as of recording this episode, the Golden Globes happened on Sunday, and people won, people lost, and people got irritated. So we're here to talk about and give you all the tea and all the messy and all our thoughts on who won, who deserved it, who didn't, and what they wore and what they didn't wear, and everything else in between. So Leah, did you watch the Golden Globes this past Sunday?
No, I was broken.
Okay, you can be broken but still watch something.
Like, no, I could not. I was entirely, like, I think I was at my aunt's house again, and we were watching a murder mystery show.
I see. So guess who's carrying this episode today, this week?
No, because I have takes about, like, Hollywood and the institutions that be, and I have issues, and I have complaints, and I have thoughts on things, but yeah, overall, Cece's probably gonna have to be carrying this episode.
I'm carrying this episode because I watched the entire thing. I did not watch the entire red carpet, but I did see, I know Alondria was on the red carpet looking stunning. It was funny. Stunning. Yeah, she's beautiful, and I'm glad she's, getting her proper recognition. Listen, I don't watch Love Island, not my cup of tea, never been about that, never been about either the US or UK version of that. But I'm gonna say this, like, Alondria, she came back, and her dress, iconic. Actually, the entire all the African Americans that showed up, beautiful. I'm saying her name wrong, but she was in Sinners. Apologize if I get her name wrong, but the one that played Annie, you know who I'm talking about, right?
I'm just gonna sit here and let you struggle.
No, you shouldn't be doing that. As my co-host, you should not be doing that. I'm gonna Google.
Girl, it's Wunmi Mosaku.
Wunmi Mosaku, she wore a beautiful, I don't know who the designer was, but she looked good in yellow, and she had like those little, like, the thread, like, I'm gonna go with what Mac doesn't say, which is like the Princess Leia hairstyle, but I know it's like a type of thread with braids and locks. And also, she's pregnant. Love that for her. So is Haley. Love that for her. The whole cast of Sinners looked good on the red carpet. Even Delroy. Everybody looked good. Yeah. And it was just like, it was a nice night, but it wasn't that nice for the cast of Sinners because Sinners took home 2 awards. One of them didn't even get announced. It got announced during a fucking commercial.
But we definitely needed to know who had the best podcast.
Yeah, we so needed to know that. Like, just like, for a newer fucking category that apparently just like, so, how we gonna enter our shit next year? Like, we're gonna enter this podcast in for next year and everything.
After this episode, I don't think we're gonna be allowed to go next year.
Speak for yourself. I'm trying to be up there with Drew Afuelo giving out snacks. That's where I'm trying to be. Speak for yourself. That's where I'm trying to be. But yeah, so Sinners took home 2 of its awards. One of them that was a given, which was the best achievement in best cinematic achievement. Which, what else? Who else was gonna win? And the only 2 that I think like were in major was both K-pop Demon Hunters and Wicked, which I'm like, okay. Wicked took home nothing at the Golden Globes, which I said, damn. To be fair, Tiana Taylor did beat out Ariana Grande for Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture, which we love to see it. Yeah. But a lot of people have been kind of getting on Miss Tiana Taylor, even though her speech was phenomenal. Her speech was beautiful, and she looked very good. Apparently, like the theme outside of like all the people that weren't doing this, apparently the theme was black. Didn't get the memo. Some of y'all didn't get the memo.
Do they ever?
Look, honestly, unless like it's like a theme that we all can see, I don't think anybody ever gets really the memo for the Golden Globes for what to wear. If I show up to the Golden Globes and like everybody else around me is like wearing one color, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed, and my team is fired. And by my team, I mean me.
You're out here gonna fire yourself. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire myself. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna fire myself. But just, no, because that's like my worst nightmare in life. That's my worst nightmare in life. To show up to an event and I'm either overdressed or underdressed or not on theme. That is like my worst night, and it's happened to me a couple of times, and it's just like it made me cry. It made me have a whole spiral and a nervous breakdown.
Something like that did happen to me one time, but that wasn't even my fault. We had a work thing, right? And my boss was like, "Oh yeah, the theme is like Oscars because I work in a movie theater." So like, she's like, "Oh yeah, the theme for what we're doing is going to be like an Oscars night, so wear your Oscars best like attire." So I was like, okay, bet. So I show up, I have my makeup done, I have my heels on, I'm in a long ass dress that was difficult as hell to walk in January. This is last year. And when I get there, I see like the rest of my coworkers in sweatpants and shit. And I was like, now I feel like I did something wrong because nobody else was wearing what they were supposed to be wearing. Except for like one coworker who came much, much later. We were the only ones who actually dressed the way we were supposed to. I was so mad.
I understand that completely. But for me, it's like, it's for bigger events. Like I once went to like an event that was like, it was about fashion, and I show up kind of, it's giving like Y2K Halle Bailey Little Mermaid, and everyone else was like in evening gowns and stuff like that. I was embarrassed.
Wow.
I was embarrassed. That's crazy. I was so embarrassed, and I wanted to cry, and I had to walk around like that, and also do interviews. Like and I was in a historical museum. The horror. But this ain't about us. Okay, we're nobodies, technically speaking. But just, that would just get my go. But back to the whole Golden Globes issues and everything like that. So like I said, Sinners was nominated for a slew of awards, but only took home 2, and one of them wasn't even announced, which is funny to me because like I had to find that out because I try not to go on. Whenever like these awards happen, I try not. I don't go on Twitter anymore because that is still a hellscape. But I try not to, like, go on my Facebook page or
TikTok,
like my Instagram. Yeah, TikTok or Instagram. TikTok takes a little bit longer to, like, get like everybody's reaction in real time. At least, like, the one thing about Twitter is that whenever like an event goes on and everything like that, you get that shit in real time. TikTok takes a minute, but yeah. So, but I just saw that. But I did peep on Instagram because I was looking at one of my friend's story during commercial, and it showed that Sinners took home 2, and I said, what was the other one that they took? And they said Best Original Score. I don't remember them saying that, and I was like, oh, they didn't even show it. But no, do that for Best Original Podcast, I guess. The fuck. And that's just like the big thing that, again, Sinners took home only 2 out of all the awards. It lost out to Best Original Song to K-Pop Demon Hunters. And like I said, I'm not about to sit up here and say I didn't like K-Pop Demon Hunters. I did. I watched it.
But fucking it. Golden?
I'm going to say it. I'm going to hold some people's hands when I say this and everything, and I mean this with my heart. Golden is an overrated song, and you know it.
It is. It entirely is. That's my biggest issue when it comes to like best original song for a musical, right? Because it doesn't like there's a difference between best original song for just a generic movie, right? Because What Was I Made For the Barbie movie, or Skyfall for the James Bond movie, those winning best original songs, I could be like, yeah, that tracks. I could see that. But for a musical, for the song that gets nominated for Best Original Song in a musical, not at all revealing or even understanding the themes of the movie we're watching. Golden won because it was popular and because children all over the damn world are like, we're going up, it's our moment. Gotta be golden. Oh, like that's the reason it won. Not because it actually fit the theme. I made a TikTok about this already. The song that I would say deserves Best Original Song for K-Pop Demon Hunters is Your Idol for the Soulja Boys, because that fundamentally exposes and talks, like, it comments on who they are and what their purpose is in the movie, right?
You want to know the irony? Is that when I go to look up, because I like to combine things together because that's how my brain works. I was going on TikTok and I was searching, like, because a lot of people were kind of comparing K-Pop Demon Hunters to Sinners in a way, which I kind of see it. And somebody did make a mix of I Lied to You with Your Idol. And I was like, okay, why is this fucking hard? God, why? Oh, that's good. That's good. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, there's a lot of songs I could have, like, honestly made. Like, for me personally, I like How It's Done. I think it does a really good job of being like, the good opening number for that movie.
No,
I like
no.
In my opinion, this ain't about you. It's about me. I like that song. I like Takedown, even though on a musical, not like, musical like Broadway type, but more on like just like as music. They could have. It's supposed to be a diss track, right? Why didn't y'all go harder with it? Like, come on. We live in the era of Kendrick Lamar annihilating niggas with diss tracks. We just came out of that year. We just did this. And you come out, and don't get me wrong, Takedown is fine by itself, but I'm just like, y'all could have elevated a little bit for me. If it's a diss track, elevate it a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And Free is probably like my favorite sleeper song. In my opinion, like my favorite sleeper. Because it works with like kind of like the thing, it works with it, and I do like the Free. Like I try to fight and try, like I like that. I love it when they go the lower and then they go a little higher. I love that. That works out. The other ones, they're fine. They're fine. Like I said, Takedown is fine. Free is like my sleeper. Your Idol, I like it fine. This is coming off of somebody too that doesn't really know K-pop that well.
Neither do I, but according to my friend, it's like an industry where like they have to kind of push these narratives, and like the Soulja Boys perfectly represent like how idols are exploited and how they're treated in the industry, like with how like the personas that they have, like Baby Soulja Boy, how he's like infantilized, but then when he's in like when he's singing Your Idol, he's like downright seductive and dirty. So like I appreciate that as someone who does not like K-pop, nor did I really care for K-pop Demon Hunters. Again,
and come at her with that shit. I don't condone that. I don't condone any. What I find is funny with all the other nominees for best song, because I love the fact that like Miley Cyrus was nominated for her song for Avatar Fire and Ash, and she lost, and they still made her present. That was I was like, damn. Like, I wouldn't even do that. And also, as we know too, outside of K-pop Demon Hunters being nominated and I Lied to You, also two of the original songs for Wicked were nominated, Girl in the Bubble and No Place Like Home. I'll give you this. My friend Joe, we talked about it before this, like a couple of days ago. And he said he didn't care for Girl in the Bubble, but actually, and I said, what? And he said, he almost was about to say, I don't like No Place Like Home. I said, no Place Like Home deserves to be there. It needs to be there. It works perfectly, and also it works in the context of both, like, you know, what the song is talking about, and like what the musical represents. Girl in the Bubble, you didn't need that, and I don't even know what Train Dreams is. I don't even know what that is. They just said, why not? But yeah, I kept saying that I Lied to You was robbed because, again, to me, it's about the visuals. It's about the fucking visuals. It's not just the song itself. When it comes to best original song, it's about the visuals.
It should be about the song, though. It should not be about the visuals.
But again, it ties to it when you're doing it in a visual medium. You have no other choice to do it. Again, it's the Golden Globes. If it was the Tonys, it'd be a different situation. Because 9 times out of 10, you are not allowed to see the visuals of where the song is presented when it comes to the Tonys. Because again, unless you're looking at slime tutorials, you can't see that because it's not for you po folk. But in film, when you're doing it in film and it's being represented in film, you have to have good visuals to go with it. That's why I know a lot of people, before Wicked for Good came out, they were excited to see the second part because they were ready to see how they would do No Good Deed.
And they ate with that. They did.
Yeah, they did. And same thing with I Lied to You. And again, technically speaking, Sinners is not even like all the way a musical. It's genre transcending, but I know some people that could argue it's not a musical. I know some people that could argue that it is. I think it's the good in between. I said this before in like another episode that I said that it was more like a diegetic musical for people that don't like musicals. But the visual of I Lied to You works so much better. And so, like, that is, like, something, like, when I first saw that in theaters, when I was in theaters, nigga, and I saw this shit, I was like, holy shit. Not only is this, like, something that I would try to come up with, but, like, this is, like, transcends, and it works perfectly. And it works with the theme of the movie and what they told us in the beginning of the movie. So that's why I'm just like, you know, it sucks that he lost out. I hope that they see it better with I doubt they will for the Grammys, but, like, we'll see. We will see, because I think Grammys are this Sunday coming up as of recording. It's Thursday right now, so we don't know for sure. But I hope that it gets that. But I also know that Wicked and also K-pop is also nominated as well. But we will see. We will see what happens. I feel like they're going to do them equally dirty. I'm looking at the list. Like I said, Sinners won for best box office achievement. A lot of people... this is probably going to be the first episode where I insert another video from another creator, from Nika, who kind of talked about this, about like, well, why are we so concerned with, like, you know, getting these white people's privilege and everything and getting their validation for these movies and everything. And she explained it almost perfectly as to why. I'm going to insert.
Okay, let me explain to you why, even though more and more people are saying that they don't give a shit about award ceremonies, why it still fucking matters when these black films and black filmmakers and the actors keep on getting snubbed. I need y'all to think about the cause and effect of things. And I'm also talking to the people that are like, well, how is it snubbed? It got nominated for fucking everything. And I'm also talking to the black people who say, well, why are we seeking their validation anyway? And the people that say, I'll just support them with my wallet. They don't have to win the award. First of all, if you think the money in your wallet that you spend on streaming and going to see these movies are going straight to them, No. Here's how things work. You don't have to like it. I don't fucking like it. But I need y'all to understand. An Oscar nomination is a huge accomplishment. Sweeping Oscar nominations is a huge accomplishment. But it does not come with the pay bump that Oscar winner does. I also need y'all to remember that this is a job. Filmmaking, acting, this is our job. And just like at your job, when you win an award, that puts eyes on you for what? Promotion. Moving up in the ranks. And probably just like at your job, many jobs, a lot of black people and people of color bust their ass doing more work than their white counterparts, putting in more effort than their white counterparts, just to see their white counterparts win these awards. And that puts them in a better place to be what? Promoted. Promoted to upper management. And that keeps on happening systemically until all of a sudden you get a snapshot of upper management and it's once again still what? Mostly white men. Maybe a white girly pop thrown in there somewhere, but still white. And since that is still what representation looks like at the top, they're gonna make decisions and hirings and promotions that are in their best interest. Again, I know a lot of y'all don't respect creatives, but actors and filmmakers, that is a job. And Oscar winner is something that goes on somebody's resume that is leveraged for more payment. Now you might also say, well, why do I fucking care? These people already make millions more than what I make. Well, you don't work in Hollywood. Also, I think a lot of you don't have the basic mathematical sense to understand that a million is not the same as a fucking billion. You've run into millionaires at Target. I promise you. I live in the New York area. I'm gonna have to become a multi-millionaire in order to be able to afford a house the same size as the one that I grew up in the 90s that cost $130K. Actually, if anyone wants to be able to afford a house the size that I grew up in the 90s in a state that still has abortion rights, you might have to become a multi-millionaire. And in Hollywood, movie making is very expensive. It's expensive to make a bad movie. Ryan Coogler was given something like, what, 90 million to make Sinners? 90 million is considered not a lot. I don't care how you fucking feel about it, that's just the world we're talking about, okay? When you are systematically denying black filmmakers, black actors, the leverage to demand more money, bigger paycheck, bigger budgets, then that ensures that more black actors and more black filmmakers have limited power to improve diversity and representation and to pay other black actors and black filmmakers what they're actually fucking worth. Also, a lot of actors, especially as they get a little up in age, they create their own production companies, which again empowers them to give more opportunities to the people that they see fit. When you got actors like Taraji P. Henson and Viola Davis and Angela Bassett still fighting to not get paid the rate that they were paid 20 fucking years ago, you can see how more black actors, creatives, filmmakers are less empowered to have more resources to throw the rope back. So it's not just about you being mad that they have a better house than you. It's about, in this world of Hollywood where movie making is fucking expensive, systemically, black actors and filmmakers continue to have less resources to be able to create more opportunities for more up-and-coming black actors and black filmmakers at the mainstream level. And yes, it matters to achieve it at the mainstream level because that is the media that gets the most visibility. That is the media that our kids are most likely to grow up with. That's the media that they're most likely to learn to see themselves and the world through. There is space for us building our own tables, and there is also space for knocking down the fucking door. It's a war with multiple fronts. You can do both, and both are important. And at grassroots level, the money simply is not there, and sometimes the support simply is not there. Crabs in a barrel, unfortunately, is a thing, and not all skin folk are kinfolk. I can tell you, as black women in black spaces, we still very often go through the same bullshit that we would in the mainstream. Sometimes it's worse, and most often being paid less money for the trouble. And you know what? Even with all that, we also have the issue of when a black actor does win an Oscar, sometimes the effect on their demand now works the opposite that it does for white actors. Like, I think it was Lupita Nyong'o that said that after she won her Oscar, she got less offers. Because the fact remains, they don't like to see us win and they don't like to empower us to win more. But you know what? I would rather fight in this gladiator ring with an Oscar rather than no Oscar at all. If black-led movies sweep Oscar nominations, that's incredible. But it's also more low risk for a white-dominated academy than awarding an Oscar, a well-deserved Oscar. And specifically the ones that they consider the big ones, the front-facing ones. Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting, Best Director. That's not to say that the other ones don't fucking matter. They absolutely do. They are not lesser. It takes every fucking part of this movie making machine to make a masterpiece. But I'm talking about how they see things, not how things objectively are. Awarding for costuming, sound editing, etc., more technical awards. Those are awards that they feel that they can lose to black-lit films, and also other genres that they deem lesser, like horror and sci-fi and action. Because those are awarded to people that are not as front-facing to the public, that don't have as much leverage to be move makers, to make things happen. Hell, the Critics' Choice Award couldn't even televise fucking Best Score award to Ludwig Göransson for fucking Sinners. They chose to cut that out. For those who want to take race completely out of it and want to say that Sinners is experiencing a snub fest because it's a horror movie, let's not act like it was agreed upon in the entire film community that this movie transcended genre. This was more than horror genre shock and awe. This was a cultural masterpiece. This was a history lesson. This was an homage to film technology. This was lauded by industry giants and legends, and was such a threat that it had critics and publications trying to rule it as a failure from jump. It was such a threat that it had them moving goalposts like crazy. Like I said months ago, and then Chelsea Handler said, everybody wanted to talk about box office numbers being an indicator of success until Sinners' box office numbers started looking real fucking good. And then all of a sudden, there's articles coming out, and the film fucking bros talking on here about, do box office numbers even matter? Fuck you. I still have to remind people that Captain America Brave New World did better in the box office than Thunderbolts. So yeah, I just need y'all to understand that the reason why we talk about this every year with the same fervor is not because we are continuously seeking validation from the white man. It's because we are systemically being denied resources to improve representation for us and for everybody. And even though audiences are more and more seeing these award ceremonies as complete bullshit, I need y'all to not lose sight of the entire big picture. Not just rule it out as, well, this is just something that we don't care about anymore. Unfortunately, it still matters to black actors and black filmmakers, and to the black actors and filmmakers and audience members of the future. So,
but just, in my opinion, it's just like, this was like, that's like, you know, the world's fastest man clearing a fucking mile. You know what I mean? Like, it was guaranteed they were going to win that. Because $386 million box office worldwide. Fucking excuse me? $386 million in the box office world fucking wide for Sinners. That's how much they made. And remind me again, how much did Marty Supreme make? And it came out Christmas Day? Huh?
Made like 70 or something.
Not even that. It's not even like, it didn't even, when you, the way that you met, so what I understand, the way that you move to box office is that you have to make at least double of what, however much you were spending.
Yeah.
You have to reach at least double. And as of recording this, and as of, I believe, like, the last 2 weeks, I believe it hasn't even hit, it was originally a $6 million budget. I think it's at $7 million now that it made. And and to me, I'm wondering to myself, does this even count? Did Marty Supreme actually go into theaters? That's my question.
It was in theaters.
Okay. Because I'm like, but they put this on Amazon so quick. Like, I remember seeing commercials for it to go on Amazon Prime so quickly.
And it had a production value of around 70 million, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay.
It's made 70 million, roughly, I think.
Yeah, but in order for it to actually like break, you have to make double that. So it's just, are you looking at something, or are you just like estimating right now?
No, I just checked how much it cost to make, and I'm remembering how much I heard it made as of recently. Last number I heard was roughly like 70 million.
Okay, yeah, but it still has yet to bring in, and at least like, and again, I'm gonna say shout out to the Jam Podcast. I think I'm gonna end up shouting them out almost every single episode we do, because they're such a good podcast. JJ, AV, Alvin, and Matt, love you guys. Here's my thing, because Matt brought up a good point. He was comparing, and he did this comparison to one battle after another. Now, Aaliyah, let's say if I get Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, Sheryl Lee Ralph, Jennifer Hudson, pitch me some other singers real quick.
Beyonce?
The ones that can actually act too.
Beyonce can act, you're just a hater.
Now, I'm not a hater. I love Beyonce. I'm part of the Beehive and everything. But let's keep it a buck and keep it a bean, ladies and gentlemen. Beyonce is good, but she can only act good when she sings. You're a Kenny JD fan. You saw her review of fucking Obsessed.
I've seen Obsessed. Obsessed was hilarious to me, but I'm talking more Dreamgirls or Cadillac Records, because she demolished with those.
Yeah, because they had her sing most of her lines. Anyway,
that's not no. They
only
didn't.
had her sing most of her. Anyway, moving on. Pitch me somebody else. Okay, we'll put Beyonce in there. Pitch me somebody else that can both act and sing. Pitch me that.
Amber Riley.
Yeah, Amber Riley. Okay, yeah. And what's homegirl that was in? She was in The Wiz when they did it live. I forgot her name, but I also know she was in that one, that Tyler Perry, the one biopic he's ever done.
He did a biopic?
Yeah, he did a biopic on the, why is it coming? Because I saw it. And it wasn't bad. I'm gonna say that. It wasn't bad, but it was based on the women in the, during World War II that sent all the mail out to the troops that weren't getting their mail because shit was fucked up because it's World War II. That's not the point. But yeah, I can't think of her name right off the bat, but she was in The Wiz live when they did that. Now, but yeah, if I pitch me some men. If I get, okay, can I say Neo? Can I say Neo? Can I say that?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I'm saying this. If I get all of them together and we do a musical, answer me this question: am I the greatest director of all time, or I just got the greatest people to do their thing?
I mean, there's probably a mix of both.
The reason why I'm bringing up that analogy is because one battle after another had like some of the acting powerhouses in that motherfucker. And the thing is that we don't know this director for real. It's one thing to get all the people that have the talent together and then just have them do their thing and not have to worry about, and just don't have to be on cruise control. Because who gonna tell Leonardo DiCaprio how to act for real? Who gonna do it? Who gonna do that? Nobody. And the reason why I used the musical instead for just not for our podcast is because Matt used like all the he said it as an analogy, but he used all like the NBA people in the NBA. That's why I said musicals. I know you don't know sports. I don't know sports that well either. He said, if I get all the GOATs in one group, am I the best coach of all time, or did I just have a good team? And I get where he's coming from. But here's the thing. The difference between Sinners, One Battle After Another, and Marty Supreme is that both those, Sinners and One Battle After Another had time to cook. Because what? Sinners came out early summer. April?
I think so.
Yeah, I know because I saw it. I saw it with my cast, like our second week of our show. So it was like April, and then One Battle After Another. When did One Battle After Another come out? Hold on, real quick, really quickly. When did one? Okay, September 26th. So again, both these movies had time to cook. And then let the public really, work with. I've heard I didn't see One Battle After Another because I just don't want to look at Leonardo DiCapricorn's face sometimes. I choose not to do that, but sometimes I do. And also, too, I didn't even really know when this was really coming out. So, yeah. But I've heard that it's very good. And apparently, also, it's a comedy.
The only thing I really heard about it was that Tiana Taylor's character is another example of black trauma getting exploited at the Oscars. That's what won.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. I want to kind of go over that because it also does tie into something else that recently happened yesterday to me that came like a full circle moment. That I've been saying this shit for a minute and y'all just failed to listen. But yeah, and apparently Marty Supreme lost to that movie for best motion picture that's a comedy or musical, which I'm like, damn, not you being our Leonardo DiCaprio. damn, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. And I'm just like, Marty Supreme, you know what that movie's even about? Do you know what that movie's even about? When I asked a friend, what is this movie even about?
Ping pong.
Ping pong, nigga, why? Who the fuck cares about ping pong? I don't. My only thing to ping pong is that when I was in college, when I was at Wayne State University, we had like a little area where you could play either pool or ping pong. It was mostly like, no offense, the foreign motherfuckers that was playing ping pong. All of us on the other side playing fucking pool. So why does it matter? Why the fuck does it matter? I just like, it's just... And it's upsetting to see something like Sinners not get the recognition it deserves from these people. And again, like I said, if you haven't already watch Nika's video where she kind of broke it down and whatnot. And I just like, they never want us. Again, ironically, it's like what Delroy said in the movie. It's like, y'all like our music, but you don't like who makes it. You like our stories, you like what we come up with, but you don't really care on the side of who makes it. And that's the shit that just kind of just gets to me a little bit, because it's so much work and it's so much like just time and effort. Because again, Sinners is a masterpiece. I don't care what you say. I don't care what fucking film bro head ass side you're on. You're not going to sit up here and deny that Sinners is not a masterpiece. You're not. You're not going to also sit up here and not tell me that Wicked for Good is not a masterpiece. Again, out of all like the so far movie musicals that we've seen throughout like the past few years, this one is the best one. Best acted, best sing, best world building, damn it. And it's just like, y'all really don't fuck with us. And it's just like, something's got to give, something's got to change. I will try to if I don't do it, I will try. But I saw a couple of days ago before the Golden Globes, before I watched, it was either before or after, there was a guy, and I think I saved the video, where he was talking about the head of the person that runs the Golden Globes and whatnot, and how like he kind of owns pretty much all of media, but you wouldn't know who he was, and also all the scandals it was. Because I believe also too, my boy Mac does it. He did he came back for the Golden Globes like after 2 years, and apparently like they weren't doing them for a minute. They were not doing them for about 2 years, and I was like, and when he was talking about the scandal and everything with this guy that is the head of like, because again he not only knows it's Variety, it's like every news outlet you can think of. So it's disappointing, and I want this to be like for any like young filmmaker out there or creative, whatever the fuck you do and whatnot that's in the creative space. It's like, don't let this like discourage you, but also be the change you want to see. And I like partially landed. Did you have any thoughts?
Not really. The only question I really have for you, have you seen that dude Jamal's videos on TikTok about how Michael B. Jordan didn't deserve to win Best Actor against Timothée Chalamet?
I have not seen that, but I will say this, and I hate to do this. I hate to do this to my friend Ren. I love you, Ren. Kisses. But my friend Ren Star, who like I follow, and she's kind of a big creator, whatnot, and we're mutuals. She put a friends only video out that said basically they're saying if Ryan Coogler would just drop Michael B. Jordan and realize that he's holding him back, he probably actually win an award. And I said that's such a fucking L take, and it. But I didn't want to argue with her. But what did I think is he the same dude that was talking about the Kendrick Lamar the Kendrick Lamar performance, and he was saying that it was very mid, nobody understood what he was like really singing about or anything like that. Is he the same guy?
I don't know. Hopefully not, because that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, because I remember that he did that after that, and then our boy JJ, again, shout out to the Jam podcast and everything, he cooked his ass for saying that, because again, he's on like white people's dick for one part. But what did he say?
Basically, he said that his performance, like he's not surprised that Timothée Chalamet won, because no one cares about the inner workings that led to Timothée Chalamet winning. or Timothée, because, you know, he French, no one cares about the things that actually went into him winning, because all they care about is the performance and blah blah blah. And like he's very like, oh, if you disagree with me on why Timothée Chalamet's performance was better than Michael B. Jordan's, please explain it to me, but explain it to me in a way that isn't just, oh well, I think he's better, even though that's literally all he did in his videos, is aggrandize and like make it known that he believes that Timothée Chalamet's performance was just overall better, despite all of the evidence that proves contrary. But
teacher, can I raise my hand, teacher? Can I do that one for him, please? Okay, so let me see if I get this right. So he's saying, you know, not just out of the fact that I like him better. Okay, let me do this. Timothée Chalamet, I'm assuming that Marty Supreme is based on a real person, right?
I think so.
Okay. So there's one thing, and there is, like, you know, some valid to that, okay? It is kind of hard to portray somebody real that actually existed and whatnot, okay? That's a hard thing to do. As an actress, I can tell you that right now. That's a hard thing to really do, to really get inside of the mind of a character that actually existed. However, the comma, did Mr. Timothée Chalamet, chamomile tea, did he play 3 niggas?
No,
did he play not. 3 niggas?
Nope.
And again, y'all could be on me and be like, he only played 2. No, 3. Because think about that for 2 seconds. Think about this for the fucking 2 seconds. And I've done this before, because I did this when I was talking about Lindsay Lohan playing twins and everything, and really kind of breaking it down from an actor standpoint. But this is not that. Okay, think about this 2 things. Not only do you have to play 2 characters that are very different, because y'all forget that twins have different personalities. They may look alike, but they have different personalities. That's how that works. But also, too, you have to play it from not only playing the 2 personalities, but also like one that ends up dying and then coming back with a whole other set and thing inside of him. The Queen Viola Davis told y'all that. What the fuck are y'all on? Okay, let me calm down. I need to calm down.
You do. I'm going to continue with my biggest issue with his whole argument on how, like, Timothée Chalamet deserves to win rather than Michael B. Jordan. I'm ignoring, like, a lot of the meat of it. I'm just doing bare bones. I'm of the belief that acting is about the work you put into it, right? And this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Even, you know that guy on TikTok, I don't know his name, but he's like, oh, I can figure out where you're from based on your accent.
I've heard of him, but I
love watching his videos. Yeah. I just don't know his name. But he goes in to why Marty Supreme and Sinners, like, why they're not on equal footing in terms of performance, just based on their accents, because Timothée Chalamet doesn't do the right accent for the role he's inhabiting, whereas Michael B. Jordan not only does a valid like Mississippi Delta accent, he incorporates aspects of an accent that does not exist anymore but did at the time the movie was set.
Yeah, and also too, I just heard a lot from mainly from both Michael B. and also the actor that played Cornbread, because even he said in an interview that a lot of it was they were taken from their own, like, grandparents and their family, like, and saying that this is a story for them and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, of course you are. Of course. If I was doing a movie where I had to, you know, play somebody from fucking Little Rock, Arkansas, of course I'm taking that shit from my grandma, because she actually was born and raised there. So what the fuck are we talking about? That Mr. Timmy Tim Tim, oh, he deserved to win and not Michael B. What the fuck did Timmy Tim Tim actually do besides for the advertisement just sit on the fucking dome and almost like he was gonna die? What? And that's for the fucking advertisement alone. What do you gain? Like, I think Nikki Glacier made a joke and said that, like, he's the first ever dude to put on, to, you know, gain up for a ping pong movie. which I'm like, yeah, why you need to, like, work out? I get that, it's like a wrist thing going on, but just and the fact that he was like snubbed for it, like, just actually just like gets on my fucking nerves. Like, just, bro, y'all don't want to let I think it's a loss of like it's not just like, a racist bias or an internal bias. I think it's also just the fact that, like, I don't know, because I've heard a lot of people that say over the years before Sinners that they said, oh, I don't like Michael B. Jordan, I don't really like him, I don't think he's a good actor, da 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 da, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, what about him that you don't like? And it's just like, well, he's just there. And I think it's like I don't want to do this, but like, just, I think it's kind of the opposite of pretty privilege, if that makes sense. Go with me for a little bit. I think it's the fact that he is a handsome looking dude. Ain't gonna lie, the brother fine, in my mind, that's my man. But I think it's the fact of like an inherent bias of the fact that just because you're pretty doesn't mean you can do everything. And they probably have that kind of bias in that they think, oh, they're pretty, they get everything that they want. And it's like, no, there's work being put in there, because I know about Michael. I know that much like me and him, we never went to acting school. Same thing with Ryan Coogler. Never went to film school or acting school. Well, I got my degree in digital media production, but whatever. That's nothing to be talked about. But I had my degree, but I didn't go to acting school. I didn't go to film school. I didn't, do all these things and whatnot. And they still got there without all that. And I think there is like this kind of like bias of people saying that, he didn't deserve it or that, because they think that he's actually like, too attractive to actually put in the work. You know what I mean?
I guess, but that point falls apart when you're in fucking Hollywood, when everyone either looks like a Greek god or a fucking supermodel.
And I get you that too, but it is like, again, and like I said, that's why also the racism part comes in there too, because like, how can you be black and attractive? You're supposed to look like jigaboo fucking monkeys over here, like, just,
girl, that's like, crazy. That was a little crazy, but it goes into like my point, because do you remember last year when Adrian Brody won Best Actor for his role in The Brutalist over Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice?
Yes, I recall that. I didn't know it was over Sebastian Stan.
It was over Sebastian Stan, which immediately crazy work. But I remember watching both those movies, and the amount of work that I know Sebastian Stan puts into his roles, especially when he is playing a real person. He is so versatile that and not even just versatile, he will put in like research, like how did this person walk? How did they like move, like when they were just like on their regular, like day to day? How did Donald Trump move? How did Jeff from I, Tonya, what was the dude's name? I forgot. But like he puts in research to like get all of their mannerisms right, how they move their face, how their voice sounds. He puts in that work, right? And he lost to a dude who didn't even put in the effort to fake a Hungarian accent. They had to use AI to aid in his Hungarian accent in the movie, because he could not be bothered to actually do the work to like act, which is fucking crazy. Because I, as a non-professional actress, right, I act for fun. Doing an accent is not very difficult. If you want to do an accent, you just do the research, you listen to the song, you listen to the video, you listen to the movie, blah 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 blah. An accent's not very difficult to do if you put in the actual effort to do said accent, right? It's not difficult, it's not hard. Si tu veux faire un film et tu veux parler une langue, c'est pas ton langue primaire, mais si tu veux essayer, tu peux faire tu peux essayer, c'est pas difficile là. But like, even if like in that case, I'm not, like, my French is not perfect, as y'all just heard. My French is not that great.
I wanted to say, disclaimer real quick, sorry to all of our French and or Hungarian viewers for that.
That wasn't a Hungarian accent. I was just doing a random accent.
The first one.
That wasn't a Hungarian. That wasn't Hungarian. I was just doing an accent. But if you...
Sorry to whoever that accent belonged to. We so sorry. Please don't unsubscribe.
Girl, my accent was not that bad. Don't hate.
No, it's just, you know, I know it's going to be like some accent aficionados in the comments being like, that is not how you actually do this accent. You are insulting our country. And I'm just like,
do you know what accent I was doing? I don't even know what accent I was doing.
I'm guessing like it's giving mild Russian. It's giving a little bit of mild Russian.
Honestly, there was probably some Slavicness in there.
Yeah, it's giving that. Yeah, it's that too, bro. We just so to all the people that to the people that she did the accent for, we so sorry. So sorry.
Again, I don't naturally do the accent, but because I've heard it before, I've heard people do accents similar. I could learn how to do it if I put the effort into learning how to do it. That's part of the point. And don't knock my French. I live in Quebec, okay?
I ain't knocking shit. I'm just saying, if we get some in the comment section, I don't know. Did you see? And this is off topic. Did you see what I sent you in like the chat of that woman that went on our most popular episode? By the way,
no.
Yeah, I sent screenshots for you. She was arguing with me, and eventually, like, she just stopped. And I looked at her page. It gives toxic girl boss with a bad wig and bad skin.
Oh,
and
no.
And she a sister. That's what sucks. And I just asked her, like, you know, were you a consultant on the movie? Like, what are we talking about? But yeah, we can talk about that later if you read the screenshots and everything. But just But yeah, I agree with you because like it does as an actress who's worked for, it's about to be 10 years this year since I've been doing what I do as a professional and everything, and it takes effort and time to get characters down. And Michael always has said that he puts in the effort and time, and he also says I take a piece of me every time I do one of these roles. Hell, I've done shit to where I've written backstories and come up with shit and come up with new shit for even characters that just like, because again, I think it's very, you know, apparent in Hollywood that a lot of shit gets remade, redone, you know, remixed, whatever. Even again, back to the Jam podcast, even they said that for Miles Canton, for his first ever acting role, like first time ever doing this shit, and then on top of that, this isn't based off nothing. Like he can't go back and like, oh well, what did the person in 1959? No, he had to go from fucking scratch to come up with this. Is saying a lot and putting the time and effort. And a lot of the roles that I get is like I have to kind of, you know, go off of like, you know, well, what do I think? What do I want to do? And then really study it. Again, Taraji Henson gave out the best advice, that she said that when she's just out and about, she just watches people and sees how, like, you know, they act and react and stuff. Just watches people, you know, walking down the street or just stuff like that. Just kind of, and I do the same thing because I'm nosy and people watch. But it does help. Because then you come up with stuff and you start to get better. I believe that every, like, actor that wants to start off, do theater first. Not musical theater. If you want to do musical theater, that's cool. But I think do theater first and then transition over to film. Because for me, theater by itself is the most raw form of acting. Because my professor had told me this years ago. He said, the thing about film is that it's so intimate, and the thing about it is that good editing can save a bad actor. When it's theater, that shit can't save you because you have to do it in real time and you have to kind of work an audience on your side. And if you can prove that you're good in front of an audience with also not much, like, you know, because you don't have all the technicals, you don't have everything else in between, then you got it. So the fact that, like, and I didn't know any of this information, so thank you, Aaliyah, for, like, you know, letting me know about that. Because all I knew from that Oscars was just the fact that he was the only one that actually went, you know, when they try to play you off stage, and he was like, no, you're gonna let me fucking finish, which I always never understood that shit.
He's a dick.
Huh?
Okay, first of all, he was a dick that entire time. He's like, I know, I won an Oscar before, so I will take my time and I will do da-da-da-da. His speech was 5 minutes of himself, like, stroking his cock in front of a fucking audience. Like, he was so like he
Girl, get demonetized.
You already said nigga 3 times, okay? I can say like
I mean, look, the rule is that we can't do that in the first, like, 15 seconds?
I think, like, first 30 seconds, yeah. But
yeah, first 30 seconds, so we've moved past that.
We've surpassed it, it's fine. But, like, that's literally all his speech was. And, again, for him to get that, when... Again, Sebastian Stan was right there, and Sebastian Stan is so good and so versatile, and, like, he has excellent comedic timing. He's very funny. He could be vulnerable. He could be charming. He does crazy very, very well. And he could play some of the worst, like, terrible people. He could do so much. Because he is very talented. And for him to not get that when he's put the work in. And it's the same issue that I have with the whole Sinners and Timothée Chalamet thing. When you have one person who's putting in the work, putting in the research, putting in the effort to, like, understand these characters, to break them down and, like, build themselves in to a place where, like, they're almost indistinguishable, right? Where they're, like, doing everything right and should be awarded for it, and it goes to someone who's just there and not putting in the effort and not putting in the work and not doing what is necessary to do the job perfectly, right? That's my issue. You have Michael B. Jordan and Sebastian Stan who are putting in the effort to actually, like, do something because they want it to be the best that it could be, right? They don't want to have to rely on the fact that, oh, well, the director's just going to take the best cut anyway, because they're going to give it their all, even if, like, that's their thing, right? Like, that's the issue. And then for the award to go to someone who's like, oh, well, you know, I didn't do any research into the character. I just spoke the way I spoke. I didn't even, like, do research on the accent I should be using, or I didn't put an effort to learn a new language for a role. That's another thing. How the fuck did Adrian Brody win as a Hungarian immigrant for the movie? His character is Hungarian. He's supposed to speak Hungarian. Why the fuck didn't they get someone who could actually speak Hungarian? Instead they're like, oh, let's just get Adrian Brody. He didn't even...
It's called white privilege, honey. It's called we need butts and seats.
I guarantee that there is some white actor that's not, like, that is willing to learn Hungarian for a role. Like, if you... That's my thing. If you're not willing to do what it takes, like, if I wanted to do a role, right, as, like... Let's just say I wanted to take a role and it required some level of stunt training. Do you know what I'm going to do for that role? I'm going to do stunt training.
Yeah, and again, you're valid in that, but let me tell you, like, from the business side of this and everything, you're a complete unknown. I don't know you. I don't know where you come from. I don't know where you be. And we have to make money. We have to make this thing called moolala because that's how it makes the world go round. So I'm not going to take my chances on a complete unknown. See what I did there? On a complete unknown person, as opposed to Adrian fucking Brody, who I know has done good work before, and I know can get butts and seats and make me more globs of money. That's how that works. And I know it sucks, it's trash, it's garbage, but that's how they work. They get people that people can recognize and get their butts and seats. They rarely ever take the new unknown talent, or unless, like, you're willing to, you know, prove yourself and whatnot, and start off small and then start getting people that you know. Because again, it's not about what you know and what you're willing to know. It's about who the fuck you know. And that's all it ever is.
That is literally so annoying.
Yeah, it makes you not want to be in the industry.
No, because, like, then what does that tell you? Again, because I guarantee, even if you didn't get Adrian Brody, right, and you, like, your option was a complete unknown, or someone who was not a complete unknown, like an A-list, B-lister, right? Even if you wanted to get butts in seats by getting someone recognizable in the cast, right? I guarantee that there was someone recognizable, someone known, who was willing to put in the effort to be in that movie.
Yeah, but it also goes back to what I also said too. Again, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. We don't know if Adrian knew the director, the writer, the higher ups, whatever, and they said put him in the movie. You don't know how many times I've heard behind the scenes stories of why certain actors got to be in certain movies. Some for the good, some for the good, some for the bad. Hell, Robin Williams got talked out of doing Howard the Duck.
Robin Williams also, like, voluntarily joined, like, he did Good Will Hunting for, like, 1/10 of his normal cost.
Yeah.
Because he really liked the script and he wanted to do it.
Yeah, and on top of that, too, he also, what else? We are getting so far. But also, so, like, do you know the story about him and Disney and why they had a falling out after Aladdin happened?
Because he took the role and he's like, I'll do this if you don't, like, use me as a way to sell tickets for the movie. And they did that anyway. And that's
there's another part to it. There's another part to it that not a lot of people know. So, in between that time, Robin was, like, known, but not really. People knew him in the comedy circuit, and he was, like, rising up in the comedy circuit, but didn't nobody really know him like that. It wasn't until an animator from Disney, after doing, after Beauty and the Beast, he came to one of his sets and was listening to him and say, yo, this dude would be good for the genie. So the guy was like, you want to go with this guy? Like, you sure? We've never, like... And at this point, he was, like, you know, like I said, a kind of known celebrity, but this was before they started getting, like, the idea of getting a big-time celebrity to voice a cartoon character was a thing. Because back in the day, voice acting used to be, like, the lowest of low of acting. They said, you out here doing voice acting? Oh, fuck, you want to be poor. So, I love how this is a story. This is turned into, like, a story time thing. So... They, the animators, they convinced Jeffrey Casper, like, please, just, like, let me work with this guy, please. So they just say, all right, fine, call him in for an audition. They're like, okay. He does the thing. They love it. Great take. They're like, all right, fine. Now, here's the other thing. Robin, at the time, was working on another animated project. You want to know what that other animated project was?
Sure.
Huh?
I said sure.
It was Fern Gully. He was working on Fern Gully, and he did that as a now he barely took any pay from it because he knew the director and knew that was a passion project of his. And he said, I'll do it for you and everything. And when Disney went to offer him the bag and being like, hey, come work for Aladdin, he said, all right, cool, you just gonna drop that other fuck ass project from a company that we don't fuck with and come work here. He said, no, I'm gonna finish Fern Gully because I promised my friend I would finish Fern Gully and then come to y'all. And they're like, we're Disney. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? You're doing this unknown thing over us. And say, I'm going to finish what I started with my friend, and then I will come over and do that. And they agreed, but that's when they found the loophole to use his advertisement. That's all that. Because sometimes this shit is never about money. Sometimes it's just about pride.
People stay pissing me off, bro.
Huh?
I said people stay pissing me off.
Yeah, I know. I do like kind of recommend it because that's me for real. That's like, you know, I'm doing a thing for a friend, and it's like I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna come back to y'all. But I just know that it's gonna be harder for me because I'm a black woman in America, and we don't get those type of opportunities that often. But white people, they get it all the time. You know.
Back to the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the whole best original song, because I'm still not over that. Because again,
I mean, we can talk about that. We can talk about the fact that Sinners got sent for best original screenplay over what again?
I don't know. I did not watch. I don't know what the nominees were.
I know you didn't. That's why, like, I got the thing pulled up. Let me just look back at what it was. I'm still tripping. I know you're still on best original song. I'm still tripping on the fact that it got best score, but they didn't advertise. Excuse you? They didn't broadcast it?
I'm ignoring that because that was just fucking foul. I'm on the best original song because, again, what the fuck does Golden tell you about the movie? What does it contribute to the movie? How does it expand on these characters, especially for a fucking musical? How does Golden expand on the story? What does it tell us about these characters that we don't already know? Nothing. It tells us nothing.
I mean, in a theory, yeah, you're kind of right. Because I do know that it kind of does, it does kind of use it as an emphasize on, like, you know, what the girls were before, and whatnot before they joined Huntrix and everything.
Like,
and it's just,
I think the only thing it does is like expose, like, oh, Rumi's part demon. Well, it's like, that's great, that's cool. It also does not like delve into the themes of the movie, right? This Is What It Sounds Like is leagues better as a song for the movie than...
That's also my thing, yeah.
Again, for the Saja Boys, your idol. Because that it perfectly summarizes who they are and what their purpose is in the movie, right? Mm-hmm. This Is What It Sounds Like is... First of all, not only is it the song that finally closes the magic seal thingy, it's also the one that you like genuinely hear the voices of the characters, right? Mm-hmm. They're they're learning about themselves and they're being vulnerable with one another, and like power of friendship like saves the day because of that song, right? It adds to the movie. It contributes to the movie. Golden winning because, oh, everyone loves this song, it's just so popular, pisses me the fuck off. Because, like, what does that tell you? What does that do? What does that song do at the end of the day? And it's the same issue that I have with nominating both No Place Like Home and Girl in the Bubble. Because what does Girl in the Bubble do but take away Glinda's accountability in the fucking matter of upholding fascism? What does it do at the end of the day but be like, oh no, did I do that? Did I become a pivotal piece in a fascist regime that oppressed everyone and enslaved animals? Did I endorse animal slavery? Did I call for the murder of someone I considered my best friend? Did I also play an integral part in the murder of someone I was in the actual murder of someone I was close to? Am I a bad person because of all of these terrible, atrocious things that I've done? Oh no, I didn't mean to. I'm just the girl in the bubble, a pink shiny bubble. Like, that's literally, like, that's what that song is, and it does not contribute to the grand scheme of what that movie is about. Whereas No Place Like Home not only amplifies the themes of the movie, whereas, like, you belong in this place no matter how much people tell you you're worthless, no matter how much people tell you that you don't belong there. You do. You have the right to stay where you are and be comfortable and safe and loved in the home that belongs to you. Where does that fit in? Where does that not only apply to the movie, but like where else does that apply to? That applies to what's going on both in this continent and other continents. It fits narratively. It makes so much sense historically, globally. It works in a way that other songs don't work. I think the reason why What Was I Made For fits so well in the Barbie movie, because yes, that song is about feminism and what women are and the integral parts that, like, the integral role that they play and how they're belittled and undervalued, and overlooked, right? I think that song works.
Fits with I get where you're coming from with that, because it also fits with like what our particular Barbie is going through in the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Same thing. Same thing with, again, I'm not just going to harp on it because, again, I love the visual with it, but it actually kind of works with, like, what I Lied to You works with what Sammy's going through.
Exactly.
Yeah, it works because, again, he's basically, like, just saying, like, you know, again, it also fits with the theme of the movie when Annie tells us earlier about, you know, people that can divide and, you know, split between the tides of the world and everything. And it works with that because, again, like, he's doing it. And again, I'm giving it also too for the visual, because let's be real, Golden's music, let's be real what it is. Let's call it what it is, darling. It's a music video. It's a music video. It's a music video. You made it, and again, looks great. Love Sony. Can't wait for Spider-Man. Can't wait. But it's a music video at the end of the day. All of them, except for all of the songs in K-pop Demon Hunters, all literally there are people that they mix them into music videos. No Place Like Home and Girl in the Bubble. I'll give it this. I know you hate this song, but give it this. The way that he did Girl in the Bubble, chef's kiss. On a
the
visual level,
cinematography was gorgeous. It was stunning. The visual storytelling. The visual storytelling of Girl in the Bubble, the fact that she is only ever seeing herself in reflections, that she's only seeing what she allows the rest of the world to see, and that's like a metaphor for her ignorance. That was very visually stunning. Mm-hmm. That was gorgeous. That was amazing.
Right. That was my one gripe with No Place at Home. I said, like, you got this for Girl in the Bubble, but I'm like, why y'all? And I get why it's a rally up song. I get it. Yeah. But I'm like, first of all, y'all could have did this but also I'm like, you have No Good Deed coming up soon. You have No Good Deed coming up soon. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll let you slide. Plus, like, you let that bitch ass, again, we are never going to get off of that. We are never going to get off the fact that you let bitch ass Lion Coleman Domingo do that shit. We are never going to get past that.
This is not us hating on Coleman Domingo. We adore Coleman Domingo.
Never in this life. Coleman Domingo, if you're listening to this, I love you. Please style me. I will be your Cinderella to your beautiful fairy godfather type shit. Please. I'm begging. Style me. I need it. But just was it a favor? Was it a favor, Coleman? Was it a favor? You can tell me. Was it a favor? Or did you just wanted to do it? You just wanted to.
Maybe you just wanted to do it. Like, damn. But also, no, fuck that line.
Sometimes I'm like, why people in movies, I'm like, because remember what I said? You remember what I just said before. But sometimes that shit's just like a favor, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, can you do this for me? Like, listen, it's not going to be that much, but can you just help a sister out? Like, just help me help you. Like, and everything, which I'm like, that's funny, because Wicked for Good and both Wickeds, you didn't need too much star power for that movie to work. You didn't need it. You honestly didn't need. All you needed was just. But then again, you're going off of like what adaptation rules do, because adaptation kind of knocks it out. Because you could have got, honestly, with Wicked, you could have got anyone to do Elphaba. If they didn't care to do Elphaba and Glinda, they could have got anybody. Literally anybody. In fact, I'm still seeing now a lot of people not hating too much on like Cynthia playing the part, but they're like, you know, doing their own like who they would have got for Elphaba or who they would have got for Glinda and ranking it. I've been seeing this one and everything. Somebody said Zendaya, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that.
I love Zendaya, but she's not a belter. She's not a belter.
Yeah, she can sing. Don't get us wrong, but and they did rank it 7 out of 10, which I'm like, yeah, but she needs to be like. There's a reason why they put her in Greatest Showman. There's a reason for that.
Did you know that they put her in Greatest Showman over Cynthia Erivo?
Listen.
Again, it was a star power thing.
Blessing in disguise. We call that a blessing in disguise.
Why?
Because which would you rather have? This show that doesn't, technically speaking, even too, Greatest Showman doesn't even have like a Broadway show to go off of. It's a very slighted biopic about, what is it, J.P. Barnum? What is it?
P.T. Barnum.
It's a very one-sided biopic about this guy. And it doesn't even have like a Broadway show off of one of the most popular, one of the most iconic of all time. Bitch, that's a blessing in disguise. What the fuck we talking about? You pass me up for that, but I get to do the role that I've always wanted to do? Please.
Well, I mean,
that's like you.
I just think
they
it was.
offered me Pinocchio. That's like if they offer me Pinocchio and then they turn it down last minute, but then I get to go be they offer me Fairy Godmother in Pinocchio and then they turn it down last minute. I'm like, okay, fine, but then I get to go be the fucking witch in Into the Woods, or go get to be fucking the Fairy Godmother in Roger Hammerstein's Cinderella. Which one do you think I'm taking? Which one do you think I'm taking? The fuck?
I mean, that's fair. I just think it's kind of like they did them dirty. Because, like, in the name of star power, you got rid of two, like, phenomenal... Like, the option was Philip being played by Jeremy Jordan or Zac Efron. And if we're talking vocally, just purely based on vocals, I would have chose Jeremy Jordan. I would have chose Jeremy Jordan and Cynthia Erivo. Because another thing that pisses me off is the fact that Anne is light skinned, but her brother WD dark as the night, black as hell.
But also, this goes back to what I said, because what's the difference between Wicked and Greatest Showman? What's the difference, real quick?
That one's an actual Broadway production.
Yeah, is an adaptation based on that's based on a book too, and a beloved classic for people that didn't read the book but know the original Wizard of Oz. What is Greatest Showman?
Not that.
Yeah, a popcorn musical movie that isn't based off anything at all. So you got to fight one thing or the other. Plus, like, what, that movie came out in 2017?
I think earlier than that.
I think it was 2017 because I remember when I saw the advertisement. But 2017, what was Cynthia Erivo doing at that time?
Singing the hell out of "I'm Here" on Broadway.
What musical is that?
The Color Purple.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna, so as a businessman, I'm gonna be like, well, she can sing all right, but she's not really known. Because I'll tell you this right now, a lot of like Broadway stars don't get known until like their 10 year or like their 15 year. They may be doing shit on Broadway, but they don't get known unless, like, you do like certain, like, for example, homegirl that played Katie in the original Katie in Mean Girls. It's always back to Mean Girls, isn't it? And then she got picked to be Charlie Morningstar, and did another thing too that I saw clips of, and I was like, oh, this bitch get on my nerves. But she got picked to play Charlie Morningstar for Hazbin Hotel. So that's how that works and everything. But like, so I have two options. I can pick Zendaya, who just came off like a blockbuster movie, like the Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man.
I don't think she was
on Disney.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me check when that actually happened.
Because the Broadway Color Purple is a little old now.
Okay, so The Greatest Showman and Spider-Man Homecoming was the same year.
Yeah. And what was it? That was what, the second one? The second one in the front?
No, Homecoming was the first one.
No, I said no. What year did in 2017? What one was that?
The first one.
Is it?
Yes.
Hold on.
I'm literally looking at it right now.
Then what year did No Way Home? Not No Way Home. It's Homecoming, Far From Home. Yeah, Far From Home.
Yes, Far From Home. If the first one came out in 2017, then the second one came out probably 2019.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, but still. Zendaya
would have been Disney famous at the point where she's doing The Greatest Showman. She would not have been.
But she still is, a known actor. I've seen that girl on Disney Channel. I just saw her in this, big blockbuster for Marvel and everything.
She wouldn't have been in the blockbuster for Marvel at the time.
Yes, she.
No, she wouldn't.
No, because you're not thinking about it from like how productions work. Because again, it's always the year before. They're doing it the year during and whatnot. The trailers come out around when the movie's about to release. That's how that works.
Both movies came out the same freaking year. If I'm not mistaken, The Greatest Showman came out first.
What month did it come out? What month?
Okay, Greatest Showman came out
Because I know that came out after. I know that came out after.
Can I get like a date, please? December.
December 2017. What year did the first one come out? Huh?
Bitch, if you don't calm the fuck down, I will smack you.
Because you know I'm gonna be right. That's why you doing that.
July.
Huh. So I just saw this and I'm like, huh. And also she's on Disney Channel. And also, oh yeah, didn't her co-star was also on Disney Channel? Huh. I guess I'm just gonna have to go with this, as opposed to like, an unknown person, because I can't. Well, oh yeah, I know. Poker Face came out in 2019, so yeah. But also, wait, when did do me a favor, search up, when did Chewing Gum premiere?
Movies and shows, blah blah blah. Oh, she was in a lot of shit. Holy fuck.
Yeah. Cynthia's been in a lot of shit over the years and everything. They're just not, like, my grandma kept asking me, is she a newer actress? Is she new? I said, she's been around for a minute. Don't do that.
I can't actually find Chewing Gum. Hold on. Oh, fuck. This is old as hell. She has hair.
Yeah.
This is 2015.
Yeah. Yeah, but what? Chewing Gum was not that. I know it's popular with the Brits, and I know that Michaela Coles, who would later go on to do I May Destroy You, worked on that. But I'm just like, I'm gonna go with the Disney girl over like this Broadway person. I don't know who she is.
But she was already there.
Again, Disney over what? Over what?
She was already there. That's what doesn't make any freaking sense. And she's already singing in the backgrounds of the freaking movie.
Cynthia or what?
Cynthia Erivo is already in the background of the movies.
Of Greatest Showman?
Yes, she's like vocally, she is in the background if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Let me check that.
Yeah. But also, again, Zendaya, known her, know about her. Cynthia, I don't know her yet. Which one are you going? Which one? And I need to make money off of this thing.
If you wanted to make money off of this thing starring Hugh freaking Jackman.
I mean, yeah, but he's like that's like legacy. That's legacy actors. That's different.
No, it's not.
No, because, like, yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It's a thing with legacy actors. Because think about it this way. Because it's like, yeah, you might watch a movie with Hugh Jackman, but then again, not a lot of people really like the stuff that he does outside of the X-Men. Let's be real with ourselves.
That's crazy. Because I fucking love Prisoners. The
movie that I know that he did really well in, that I know people like, is Kate and Leopold. I was just thinking about that movie today.
I was saying Prisoners, but okay.
Yeah. But outside, like, the X-Men stuff, we know this nigga do musicals. We don't want to see that. We want to see this. We don't want to see this very straight male be a musical man. Hell, I know this nigga played Gaston one time, which honestly need to see that. Need that badly. I hate Gaston with a passion of 1,000 suns, but if he's playing, I'm like, yeah, I like that.
Oh yeah, she was also in Widows. I like that movie.
Yeah, Cynthia has like a long career. It's just like, and also like, let's also be real with ourselves for us, because there's one other thing I haven't mentioned. Colorism, darling. Have we not realized that?
Again, it's so dumb. Just get a light-skinned man then, especially when WD don't do fuck all in the damn movie.
Again, we could do that, but then that's like that's us exposing our inherent biases, and we don't want to do that. We just want to make the money and be the racist. That's how that works.
Y'all are fucking annoying.
I know. Again, it makes you not want to do it, but then you see stuff like Sinners that inspires you. You see stuff like Spider-Verse that inspires you, and you're just like, let's just keep going and trying. So, moving past the Golden Globes a little bit, because we know that shit was a mess. It was a mess. Have you seen the show with the two hockey boys and everything? Because I know that they made their like first outing at the Golden Globes this time around. I don't know that.
I heard of it. I'm not interested in watching it at all.
I don't even know what it come on for me to watch it, but yeah, I know they were there and they presented an award too and everything. I know that yeah, it was a lot. But moving on, so now the big thing that we're worried about right now is the NAACP awards, which I believe are February this year.
It would be fitting.
Yeah, and so luckily for us, Wicked and Sinners are up for a bunch of awards.
Good.
But also, One of Them Days is up for a couple of awards too, which I'm happy about because y'all niggas forgot about that movie, didn't you?
I don't like black trauma shit.
That's a comedy.
Her character is still the epitome of black trauma, though.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about One of Them Days. What are you talking about?
Oh, One of Them Days. I'm talking about. I'm thinking about the one with Tiana Taylor.
Oh, one battle after another.
Yeah.
No. I said I switched over to the NAACP awards. That's what I said.
I was like, I was like, what? Why is the NAACP? What does they want that one for?
One of Them Days with SZA and Keke Palmer is about trauma, because I'm pretty sure fun fact, the director, I think it was the writer of that movie is actually from Detroit.
I thought the writer was Issa Rae.
No, like the other, no, I think she was producer on this one.
Oh,
but the writer is from Detroit, which I'm like, okay, cool. So we do have good writers. All right, it's not just me out here. Awesome. Let me shut up. So yeah, so I'm kind of, but they're all in the same category for best motion picture, which I'm like, don't make me choose between these three. Don't make me do that. Don't make me do it. And they are actually offering you can vote yourself. So if you're watching this video right now and you are indeed a person of color and you like the NAACP awards, you can vote for Sinners to win for best motion picture. You can do that. And vote for Michael B. Jordan. You can do that. You should do that. We'll probably put in the description below of where you can go vote for. I know I'm going to go do it. But you can vote for that. And I suggest, vote accordingly. Because Sinners has been done dirty, and I know they're going to get done dirty at the Oscars. So that's the least
definitely.
You can do. What are your Oscar predictions?
My Oscar predictions is that Golden is going to win Oscars again because people are fucking stupid.
I think here's my thing because I would agree with you, but I also because the thing about the Oscars, they're a little bit fishy when it comes to Netflix movies, because technically speaking that on a technical level, K-pop Demon Hunters counts because they did have a limited release for the sing-along in theaters, but the Oscars has always been not only have they been iffy about horror and black people, but they've also been a little bit iffy about Netflix because of a lot of the stuff that comes with streaming nowadays.
Also, Netflix ain't shit usually when it comes to their movies and stuff.
Yeah, so I don't think it might not win. I honestly, when they listed all the animated, which the animated category let me know. Oh, Demon Slayer had a movie this year. Good for the anime community, I guess. Sorry, y'all lost out to K-pop Demon Hunters. Actually, you know what's funny? They lost out. They also lost out to Zootopia. Zootopia 2 was on the list, and I was like, yeah, because we watched Zootopia 2. Mid but good. Mid but good. But just yeah. So I think it might have a lesser chance to win for best original song and probably for best animated movie too. Because like I said, they Oscars have a iffy thing about Netflix movies.
Watch them pull out the Netflix win when the two other options are black.
Watch them pull out so that's but it's iffy. I don't think much because again, Wicked has not been winning anything,
which is insane.
Awards.
Which is insane.
Yeah, they did. I don't think they won for Critics' Choice. They didn't win anything for Golden Globes. I doubt they're getting it. We already saw what happened last year with them. I don't think it's happening again this year. I'm so sorry to Cynthia and Ariana. Hell, Cynthia had the right idea. She didn't even show up to Golden Globes. She's too busy doing her one-woman show right now.
I thought she was on vacation.
No, she's working on a one-woman show.
Oh.
I've seen stills of that, but I'm like that's me too. I'm like, look, if I know I'm not winning, I'm not showing up. It's not worth it. No. So when we get nominated for best podcast, if I don't show up, you know why?
I'm not gonna be there in general.
You gotta show up.
Why?
We're only a 2-person team. One of us gotta show up.
It's not like we're gonna win anything. Why do I have to be the one to show up?
At the very least, go for the experience. That way you can go back and brag to your people over at your job, being like, so guess who's at the Golden Globes? Not
me,
John.
bitch.
Huh?
I was like, me, bitch.
Exactly. Just go for the experience. Run into Drew Afuelo giving out snacks. Maybe meet Angela Bassett.
If I met Angela Bassett, I think I would actually have a nervous breakdown. Don't wish that upon me.
Hug Michael for me one time. Hug him closely. I want to smell what he smelled like. Just
what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm gonna avoid him simply for that. Michael B. Jordan,
why are you disrespectful? You're supposed to be there for the homie, okay?
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna risk jail time or a restraining order for the homie.
Jail time. All you're gonna do is just hug him and then get a whiff.
No,
and be done.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
You're being disrespectful as a friend and a co-host.
I'd be a stalker. I'd be disrespectful to this nigga's personal space.
That's not stalking. That's not stalking. Is him like you following him out through the rest of the night and trying to sit at his table.
No,
that's stalking.
No. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I will not do that.
Okay, then at least dap him up for my sake.
Sure. That I will do.
Because that's what I'm trying to do when the one night we have sex. Dap him up afterwards. I know you're already done with me. I just know. I know.
Like, why am I here, bro?
and then meet Angela Bassett, and maybe do the glam bot one time.
Oh, I would fail at the glam bot. I'm so awkward. I could not.
It's not even that hard. It's literally not even that hard. Just hit one pose.
I think my pose would be something for my hair. Like, I don't know. Gotta do some type 4 representation for the glam bot.
But just and if I'm there because I'm there to meet to get interviewed by Drew Afuelo and get one of her snacks, and then I'm there to
harass Michael B. Jordan. Apparently,
I'm not gonna harass him. Actually, you know what I am gonna do? I'm gonna be like, I'm go to his mom because I know he's probably gonna bring his mom because he's been doing that for the past few awards. I'll be like, you look so beautiful, and then walk away because I've heard that apparently, and he said it in an interview that all the girls always say like all this slick shit to him, like one of the jokes that Nikki Glacier had said was that I can't toward him during her opening monologue. She's like, I can't believe we have a movie where we have 2 Michael B. Jordans. And Michael B. Jordan more like Nikki B. Jerkin, and his mom was right there.
Ew.
Like sitting next to him at the table. And he said, he was like, say, I like my mom coming. My mom can hang and whatnot and everything. And then apparently, like she said, oh yeah, people say that stuff like that all the time when she's around. And at this point, she just rolls her eyes. So I said, okay, I know how I'm gonna do this.
I like how you have a whole plan on trying to rizz up this man by getting to his mama. Like that.
Hey, listen.
Please take a seat.
Friend.
Please stop.
Sometimes in life,
please
if
stop,
you can't get him through his stomach, get it through his mom's.
You have a problem.
I swear to God, y'all, I am not a pick-me. I don't promote pick-meism or nothing like that. I swear to God. But just like, and also too, his mom is gorgeous. Like I was like, she is so pretty. I get where he get it from. She look gorgeous. She's a black queen. She was rocking her gray hair. I said, yes, mama, you better go. And apparently she can hang because they went to a bar. They went to the after party and the bar afterwards. She was hanging. I'm like, I ain't even mad. I ain't mad. I'm trying to be like her when I grow up. Old enough to still hang like that around my alleged son.
Alleged?
I mean, like, honestly, I don't know if I'm ever going to have kids for real. I don't know.
Around my alleged son.
We don't know what the future has in store for me. I feel like just God's going to give me the mother curse just to spite me on purpose.
Around my alleged son.
Shut up.
No, because what do you mean by that?
I mean, like allegedly, if I do have a son in the future. If I don't, I'm just gonna be like, an old woman that's just an old famous woman just hanging at the bar chilling.
No, but like alleged? Wouldn't it be your legit? Like, wouldn't it be your actual child?
Again, I don't know if we're gonna have a son in the future. That's why I said allegedly. I don't know.
Then say hypothetically. Don't say allegedly. That implies the kid's not really a kid.
Again, okay, hypothetically, I also want to, add the fact that if I ever did have hypothetical children, I would take care of them.
Did you say you wouldn't? I'm so sorry.
I said I would. I would.
I heard I wouldn't take care of them. I was like, that's a crazy thing.
Fuck you in advance, because you are out here doing like the fucking audio dirty, trying to be like, I said I would take care of my kids. I'm not abusive.
I'm not saying that's what you would do. That's what I heard you say you would do. That's why I was concerned. And don't be hating on my audio.
I feel like you're throwing me under the bus like this.
I'm not throwing you under nothing.
Nothing to you.
I'm not throwing you under nothing.
I have let you slide since you showed me that psycho killer man you got a crush on. Okay,
He catches psycho killers. What are we talking about?
He looked like he...
Accusations. That is the love of my life. He does nothing wrong. He is just an autistic boy, okay?
See, what you say that now, then we find out later that he out here running the streets like Ezra.
Who?
Like, what? What's his name? Ezra, the one that played Flash.
Oh, Ezra Miller. First of all, as much as I do, I like the actor because I think he's cute. I'm not into the actor the way I'm into the character. The love of my life is the character, not the actor itself. Like, that's me saying I love Bucky Barnes, not saying I don't love Sebastian Stan. But Bucky Barnes needs a hug. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, stop hating on the love of my life. He's so sweet.
What did I say before it stopped recording? What did I say? I said, I'm letting it slide for that. I'm letting it slide.
You're not letting it slide when you try to knock him every single time.
I don't not. First of all, you just told me this like last episode. The fuck, how is this every single time?
I've mentioned him a total of 3 times, and every single time I do, you're like,
Because to me, I don't find him that attractive, and I'm trying to, sustain my my attraction to white men. I'm trying to sustain that shit, okay?
That's fair. I think if I had a black version of Spencer Reid, because that's the thing about his character. He's the type of character that only ever gets given to white people. He's autistically coded nerd who's very socially awkward, and despite being attractive enough to get female attention, no one ever acknowledges that. They're like, oh, you're not you don't get girls, you're a nerd. You know what I mean? That type of role does not get given to black people, I find.
I feel like you just opened up the gates for somebody. If we do get fans from this, somebody's gonna make an AI image of him as a black person, and we're gonna just be like, no. They're gonna send that to you now. You've opened up the floodgates.
Oh, don't wish that upon me. First of all, second of all,
you know they're gonna do it.
Second of all,
they're gonna do it. You know it.
I don't know how I would feel about a black a physical black version of Spencer Reid.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would just weird me out because I know who it's supposed to be and it's not that. You know what I mean? But that, first of all, doing that would go against my point.
Mm-hmm.
The skinny white nerd archetype, I like it because the nerd, I like the intelligence, I like the smartest guy in the room kind of vibe without being a condescending prick. I don't believe that Spencer Reid would mansplain to me. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'll give you that.
He wouldn't mansplain. His love language is just stating facts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. That's what I like. That's my vibe, and I just love him. Okay.
If you like it, I love it.
You know? That's not what.
If you like it, I love it. Okay?
That's what you say when you in fact don't love it.
Comment down below. If you find this man she's talking about attractive, I will pin the best comment about that. Comment
down below. If you are watching Criminal Minds, or if you are a Criminal Minds fan, who is your man?
Watch is gonna be like some other guy. They're just like, nah.
No, because no. Just based on what I've seen out in the world, right? Number one option, everyone always loves Reed. Everyone always loves Spencer Reed. Next option is a toss-up between Hotch or Morgan. Morgan is black, he's buff, he's like your typical player, kind of like smooth talking, a little bit of a douchebag, a lot of bit of an asshole, actually. He's kind of a dick sometimes. Mm-hmm. But like kick down doors, tackles the unsub, like athletic, fit, like very like superficial, like douche bro black guy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Aaron Hotchner is the one in the suit. You know, he doesn't smile much. He's quiet, a little bit domineering. That's his vibe. Mm-hmm. Next after that, that's if people have even gotten this far. After that would probably be Luke and or Matt, who are very close. The family man, who's like, well, they're both archetypes of the family man. Luke does not have a family yet, but you could tell he wants one. He's wholesome, he has a dog, and he's just very sweet. Matt has like 5 kids. In fact, in the show, he has another kid. And a direct quote from my mom when we watch Criminal Minds, and we get to the episode where his wife goes into labor, she's like, you know what? I if he was gone all the time, the second he came home, I would have 5 kids for this man. And I was like, that's a crazy thing to say, but I digress.
If I ever get around to actually, editing this properly and, doing the little, like, thing, like when on YouTube now they have, like, the different, like, chapters on a video and everything. This is just about to be, like, this whole chapter finna be just you, like, going off on your man and about Criminal Minds. And I'll be like, and then they'll be like, most skipped.
It's a hyperfixation of mine, okay? I am autistic, okay? It's been my show since it came out September 22nd, 2005. I was 6 days away from being 2 years old, okay? That, it has been my shit. This is, like, it's my show. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'll give you that. I will say that we might have to save what I wanted to talk about between my correlation between Tiana Taylor and that for the next episode, because running out of time, guys. Running out of time. But
running out of time, we can make this shit as long as we want.
Yeah, but like I want to be like, to YouTube friendly, because who's gonna sit and listen to a bunch of black girls talk for 2 hours?
People who have taste.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, y'all might. If you listen to us, guess what? You're premium and you got taste.
No, you know what? In the comments, put like what you want us to talk about. We should have like a poll. Maybe that's what we could put on our Patreon. Our Patreon is like, give us a topic.
What Patreon?
That's what I'm saying. If we make a Patreon, that would be what we put on it.
Yeah, y'all get if you subscribe, if you give us $5, you get to personally pick what
you get to pick topics or vote on topics, because if y'all are like,
give us $100, you will hear me say all the nasty shit I want to do to Michael B. Jordan right on this thing.
If you give me $100, I will actually have an in-depth conversation on why I cannot stand the Taylor Swift versus Beyonce argument.
Yeah. Well, I don't like that. Well, I don't like that argument either. I'll have like my
No one with
that's
sense
your
should like that argument. I'm just gonna say
that's your standalone episode. That's gonna be your standalone episode. Gonna be like, I already know what I said. I said what I said.
I said what I said. If you agree that Taylor Swift is in any way, shape, or form better than Beyonce, you're a fucking moron. And you don't have taste. And why are you watching this podcast? Because clearly your opinions are garbage.
And also, if you give me $50,000, like if you give the Patreon $50,000, then
how many tiers are we having?
I don't know. If you give us $50,000, we will sell you the podcast. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We will sell it for $50,000. Actually, no, double it so that way me and you can split it because I need that $50,000.
Yeah, we have an equal amount.
Yeah. So if you give us double $50,000,
that's $100,000.
And then you can have the podcast, and then you can name it whatever you want because we constantly don't know the name of this fucking podcast.
We're weird. We're just weird.
We didn't think this through. We really didn't think this through.
We're like, oh yeah, let's just start a podcast.
Yeah, it was this one's idea, and I was like, the world has too many podcasts. Do we need to add to it? And you said yes, and I was like, well, that's why she be making all the jokes about like, I'm being held hostage. No, I'm being the one held hostage.
First of all, I was making a joke. I was making a joke when I said we should start a podcast. You are the one who came up like a week later and it's like, so you want to film the podcast? And I was like, oh, okay.
I thought you were serious.
I
thought you were serious.
I didn't think anyone would be interested in doing a podcast with me. So I was like, okay.
Well, now we're here with 4 episodes in. Now we're here. And now we got to find a way to infiltrate the Golden Globes to be for best podcast.
What could we talk about that would actually have people interested enough?
Well, like I said, our most popular
what
episode,
podcast did win at the Golden Globes?
I believe it was Amy Fomer's. I think it was Amy Fomer's one.
Amy Fomer. Who's Amy Fomer?
She's Joy from Inside Out. She's
Amy Poehler.
Original mom from Mean Girls. Regina's mom from Mean Girls. Parks and Rec.
I know who she is now, but you're like Amy Fomer. I was like, who the hell is that?
I can't say her name right, but yeah, her podcast won. What we do to win? I say we talk about.
We get Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler, if you're listening, please.
We need to pull a D'Angelo, and yeah, we need to get D'Angelo Wallace on here, and then just be like, so why did you take a break for this long?
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Mainly because it's none of our business why he took a break.
See, the problem is that for me, if we ever interview anybody, it's just the fact that I do the deep questions because, former wannabe journalist, I get the deep questions. Like, I'm like, we gonna go deep in here.
Ask, the types of questions I would ask is probably like, hey, so you put this amount of work into this thing, and it's not getting the reception or the attention that it even deserves, and I'd use this space as your talk about your passion, talk about why you put in the work to this, why tell your story, vibe. Also, please, Rachel Zegler, I adore you, come on our podcast so we could talk about how amazing.
Listen to this damn podcast and you know it.
Oh, but I'm gonna be invited to the freaking Golden Globe so I can hug up on Michael B. Jordan for you.
If it happens, first of all, we got to get some fucking clout because nobody knows who we are.
That's fair. That's why I'm saying, Rachel Zegler, if you're ever listening to this, please come to our podcast.
If she actually listens to this, I'm gonna be like, you know what?
The entire podcast, I will be fangirling so hard.
I'll say this.
No.
The only thing that's got us the most clout that we've gotten, because again, the second episode was me talking about a Tubi movie, ironically. So, guess we're doing it again. To be fair, I am going to try to work on ones that are kind of getting popular on Tubi. There is one that my friend Jayla, shout out to my friend Jayla Mosley. She writer, director, producer, all the things, all the time, every day. She's we both inspire each other. She just came out with a movie called Broken Bonds that's on Tubi right now, and apparently it got number 4 rated in Variety for like most viewed.
Okay.
So that's saying something. I'm like, a Tubi movie over, like, I think K-Pop Demon Hunters is still like number 1 right now, but number 4.
Okay, cool.
So we might either be watching that, and then I need to look on the front page of Tubi to see which one, because I think the other one, I know Double Toasted did the Adoption 2 not too long ago, which is a Tubi original. So that will be fun. Again, I'm trying to avoid all the ones, and I guess like now is a good time I can talk about it. So about a day or two ago, maybe 2 days, I found this post. So basically, this was confirming something that I already knew, that Tubi is owned by Fox Corp and everything, and how a lot of people who put their stuff on there are getting kind of cheated, and who's seeing this and everything. And I had wrote this, if I could find the comment that I made on my Facebook page, if I could just find it, because one person liked it, if I could just find that real quick. But it does kind of confirm a thing that I just like has always been there. And like I said, I'm all an advocate for independent artists and independent filmmakers and independent everything. I'm an advocate for it because I know that we work twice as hard as the people in Hollywood, because Hollywood has backers and people that give a fuck and are willing to throw money at anything. But we gotta, like, come up with everything. We're every hat. We're the director, the writer, the actor sometimes the fucking line producer, the crafts people, everything else in between. That's what we do. But the problem with Tubi, and again, I forgot which, because I don't know their names all that well. One of the hosts of Double Toasted had talked about this. He said, because they were reacting to that compilation of like bad Tubi movie compilation of all the moments in those, and he had said that Tubi does kind of feel like reassurance to white people and all the stuff that they have to say about us, and kind of reinforces, this kind of propaganda that they have about us and everything. Okay, yeah, now I found it. So this is the post. This was reposted in the Black Musical Theater and Arts group, and it was by a guy named Anthony Mapp. And he said, filmmakers, a word of caution, know who you are dealing with. Tubi is owned by Fox News Corp. And then this is the repost is from Isaiah Hayes III. Who's verified. Before you upload, stream, or license your work, know who owns Tubi. Tubi is owned by I can't say this. Lachin Murdoch through Fox Corp. Fox Corp has a documented history of pushing narratives that deny systemic racism, criminalize black protests, attack diversity and equality efforts, and platforms voices that routinely undermine black communities. From the framing of police violence to the dismissal of racial inequality to eternal lawsuits alleging racial discrimination, the record is public and well documented. This is not about entertainment. It's about power, influence, and who benefits from your labor, your culture, and your voice. When you post content, you are not just sharing art. You're feeding an ecosystem, an algorithm, a corporate agenda. Black creators and black audiences should not be supporting platforms owned by Fox Corp. And this is the comment that I made. I said, I've been saying this for years. That's why all those movies that are in the bad Tubi movie compilations are pushed, because it pushes the narrative and stereotypes that they about us, and they profit off of it. We were never hating on your movies. We were telling you the real, and that's why storytelling to our people is important with a purpose.
Ate
and that's
that.
Like, say that again.
I said you ate that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like my thing, because again, all these, like, the ones that are, they get put in these compilations for bad Tubi movies, yeah, we can laugh and be like, oh, they're so cheap, but it is pushing these narratives that A, black women are always oppressed, B, black men always abuse us, C, they abuse our children and we laugh, or we have to, like, and it's always black pain and suffering. and not real black joy. And again, the creators of these, again, no shade to some of these creators, no shade to some of y'all, but a lot of it's just like, you think that you're putting out something that's good when in reality it's just feeding a propaganda. That's why we have movies like Sinners. That's why we have movies like Meet Me in Tuscany. And again, I'm not saying you have to shy away from the dark. I'm not saying that. You know, you can tell your story, your dark story and everything, but again, be cautious with it. Have some fucking caution about it. Because when you don't have caution, when you don't do the research, when you don't do anything, I've said this before, and it wasn't recently. The YouTuber Onye, I don't know how you say your name. She recently watched at the end of the year. She watched the Father May I series, which is a series that I will never suggest Aaliyah to, because literally, I'm not about that shit.
Yeah.
But to make a short story long, it basically tells the story of these three of this mother and the three kids who comes from one abusive household from their dad to another one where basically they meet their uncle, who not only ends up SAing one of the daughters, but also, what's the appropriate thing that I can say, that
I don't
molestation. Yeah, I'm just gonna say ends up molesting the son, the younger brother, and then on top of that, we find out that the uncle is being molested by the mother, the grandma in this situation, and on top of that, we know that the single mom ends up doing drugs with this new man that she just met, and there's 3 movies of this.
Why?
Because, and again, to the creator Maya Stellar, I don't, if that's actually her name. And again, a lot of people in the comment section of Oni's video were saying that they were disgusted by this. They said, like, you know, and we weren't blaming her, but they were saying that how they were disgusted by this movie, how they said it is the worst of the worst. It is like, and a lot of people were also, you know, bringing up legal stuff about, like, I even put a comment saying, I hope these kids were not put in a compromising situation, because if they were, that is fucking illegal. You literally have to, there's a reason why you have intimacy coordinators on set, because you don't want to put anybody in a compromising position. And when you don't, you end up doing that, and it causes fucking harm. And again, I'm hoping to Maya, if she's watching or listening to this, that if this is something that you went through, A, please seek help in therapy, and B, there's a much better way to, you know, tell this story without you, and also with a better budget, and B, you know, just again, more research going into it. If you want to tell a story about, you know, because I saw a lot of people too that were kind of like mild defending it, saying, well, this is just what happens. This is what happens in the black household. I was like, okay, yeah, it does, but you don't have to keep showing us this. If you want to do a movie talking about it, then do a movie about saying why it's wrong. Don't remind us that it's here. And yeah, I just think, you know, moving forward, and I'm probably gonna keep preaching this on every episode, you know, moving forward, us as black creators, we have some of the best stories that there ever was to tell and ever was to be told. But it's the fact that y'all not trying hard enough, or like you just think, I bet a lot of people probably think that, you know, Tubi is like the easy money making scheme now, because anybody can upload there, even if you don't have, like, you know, a proper distributor. But it's just like, yeah, I just want what's best for us in that case, and, you know, be able to create things that are art, but do it in your own way that doesn't actually, you know, perpetuate a stereotype or a certain propaganda to other people. And that's all I really want. And I land.
And with that, I say we're done.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. Thank y'all for listening and tuning in to us talk about the Golden Globes, State of Tubi, and why Cynthia Erivo didn't play in The Greatest Showman, even though it was probably for the better.
That soundtrack would have aged so bad.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like I said, which one are you gonna replay more? Her doing the Wicked soundtrack, or her actually doing Greatest Showman?
Honestly, both.
Again, to this day, technically speaking, Greatest Showman still doesn't have its own Broadway musical. Do
you know how difficult it would be to do a Broadway musical to The Greatest Showman?
Oh, please! Oh, please. Do you know Broadway is for the rich? Is for the rich. Somebody can throw some money and be like, go do it. And they don't even care. Hell, you could do that in fucking LA.
Can you? I don't know.
I mean, like, LA scene is weird. But, like, LA's, like, theater scene is kind of weird. It's not, like, people kind of forget, oh, yeah, you can do, like, you know, shows in LA. You can do musicals in LA. I forget about that. Yeah. Because, you know, the bigger thing is smell. But, yeah, just, come on. Like, I'm just saying. But, yeah, but thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what y'all want us to talk about. Make sure you follow on our socials. You know, it's me. Both my Instagram is ccella_Dean. And also my TikTok is ccella from the block. Aaliyah, what's your shit?
Just Aaliyah McFarland on both, I guess. Actually, no, my TikTok's actually Dummy with a TikTok.
Yeah. I always put it at the end in the description of the video. Yeah. And shout out to all the people that we shouted out, the Jam Podcast. Nikki,
Mac does it.
And yeah, Mac does, of course, Mac does it always. And yeah, shout out to all of them. Go follow their channels and pages respectfully. And yeah, this is CCella signing off.
Bye.
Bye.